40% of America's drugs are now made overseas in countries including India, where oversight is limited. In the U.S., the Food and Drug Administration has one inspector for every 9 factories, but in India, it's one FDA inspector for every 105 plants. John Miller has been looking into a company from India, Ranbaxy, that pleaded guilty to selling adulterated drugs in the United States. Tonight, John introduces us to a former U.S. Army doctor who confronted Ranbaxy executives about the company's fraud.
Generic drug companies like Ranbaxy have to prove their drugs have the same effect as the brand name. That's called bioequivalence.
Unless that product is in fact bioequivalent to the branded product, you might not be getting what you're bargaining for.
Dr. Kathy Spreen was hired by Ranbaxy in 2004 to help the company comply with FDA regulations. She became alarmed when reviewing bioequivalence data for a Ranbaxy diabetes drug.
The data from the generic and the brand were identical. Anytime you see perfect data, you're probably looking at false data. I was so suspicious that I started asking, I need the data. I need the initial raw data.
But you couldn't get the data.
I could not get the data.
When she found out what Ranbaxy was doing, she went to Ranbaxy's billionaire CEO, Malvinder Singh.
He held my hand and he told me to just be patient and everything would be taken care of.
But, she says, nothing was done. In 2008, in the middle of an FDA criminal investigation, Singh sold his majority stake in Ranbaxy to a Japanese firm, Daiichi Sankyo. The new owners say the fraud is in the past, and they've invested $300 million to retrain employees and upgrade facilities. But the FDA has found new problems with Ranbaxy plants. We traveled to Ranbaxy's rural Tawansa plant in northern India. Despite the manicured grounds and catchy safety slogans, in 2012, Ranbaxy found glass particles in their generic Lipitor and issued a recall. Later that year, FDA inspectors found the plant failed to investigate manufacturing problems. At the nearby plant in Mohali, FDA found bathrooms with no running water.
These things just look like similar patterns to the problems that were going on all along. So you have to ask, did the company learn their lesson? And more importantly, did the FDA learn their lesson?
Ranbaxy declined our request for an interview, but in a statement the company said they will take all measures to keep facilities in full compliance to all regulations. Because of Ranbaxy's latest manufacturing problems, just 2 weeks after we visited Ranbaxy facilities, the FDA banned a third Ranbaxy plant in India from sending drugs to the U.S. Now, all of their finished drugs sold to Americans are made here in the United States.
An eye-opening investigation, John. Thank you very much.